everybody, welcome to reading. So today we are going to be doing the compare and contrast I've been talking about all week long. We're going to be looking at the same two stories that we've already read and answering some questions about it. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to help you answer these questions. If you're actually watching this video, which is only about half the class, believe it or not, if you click on this thank you over here, it's actually going to take you to a link called Reading Help. So if you just click on thank you and click on reading help, it's going to open up to a page. There's nothing on it yet because I'm going to type it as we work through it on this video. But this will be where you can find the help when you go to answer the questions on your own. Another option for you would be to pause the video after I go through each question. So I'll go through a question. You can pause the video and answer it right then. Or you can do them all at the end, however you want to do it. So again, we're going to be comparing and contrasting, looking at what's the same and what's different in the stories that you read this week on ReadWorks. Okay, so to get to ReadWorks, I'm going to go ahead and click on this link here. It says click here. And I'm going to push this login with Google button. And I'm going to push my student account name. And I'm going to click on the class that we're in. And then here are my assignments. So you should have Atka and the Wolves of Salem, South Salem done. And you should have a school trip to the aquarium done. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this how animals behave in groups. So you can see that there's two listed underneath that. So go ahead, when you get on here, you're going to be clicking that. You can either pause the video and do it now, or you can just watch this whole video and then go back and do it at the end, however you want to do it. So the directions say, please read both passages to answer the questions. Now, you guys have the advantage because if you've been doing your work this week, you've already read both passages. You might need to reread it or skim it just to remind yourself what happened in the story. But you're not going to need to in-depth read it through again because you're probably going to remember a lot of the information. All right, so when you click on the assignment, sorry, you're going to see passage 1, passage 2, and question. Now, if you did not read the passages this week, then you're going to need to read it. So you might just want to skim through Atka and just remind yourself what it was about. And then a school trip to the aquarium, you might want to do the same thing. Remind yourself what it was about. Okay? And then here are the questions. Okay, so question number 1. Do the wolves at the Wolf Conservation Center mostly live alone or in packs? So this question is just about Atka and the Wolves of Salem for questions 1 and 2. So do they mostly live alone or in packs? You're going to go back to passage 1. You're going to skim through it. And you might remember off the top of your head. And you're going to see if you can figure out the answer. The answer is either going to be alone or in packs. A good answer would be, so for question number 1, a good answer would be the wolves at the Wolf Conservation Center mostly live in, I'm putting this blank here, it's either going to be in packs or alone. You need to choose one of those and put it in that blank. So if you're clicking on this, you could even copy and paste it. Just make sure you don't have a blank there. Make sure you answer in packs or alone. So if you want to pause the video and do that now, go ahead. If you want to wait till the end, then just keep watching. All right, it says number 2 says, according to the article, why do wolves bark? So we're going to go back into the story here for passage number 1, and we're going to skim through it where it talks until we get to the part where it talks about wolves barking. So I just like to skim it. I'm hearing howling, so I'm slowing down. Okay, so, dogs bark. Wolves only bark to warn each other of danger. So, why do wolves bark? 2, wolves bark to blank. Blank. Why do wolves bark? I just read it to you. Why do wolves bark? All right. I'm going to set up this page a little bit differently so you can see it all. Again, you can answer that now. You can pause the video and answer that now, or you can do it all at the end. It's totally up to you. All right, moving on to question number 3. Questions 3 and 4 are just going to be about, oh, never mind, I'm wrong. It says use the articles a school trip to the aquarium and Attica and the Wolves of South Salem to answer question number 3. So it says, according to the story, what is a group of fish that swim together called? Answers in both of the stories, but I'm going to go to passage 2 and I'm going to see if I can figure it out from passage 2. So go ahead and see if you can figure out a group of fish that swims together is called. A group of fish that swims together is called blank. So you're going to find that in the story. Pause the video if you want to do that right now, or keep going if you just want to listen to me explain the questions. Number 4 says, use the article A School Trip to the Aquarium to answer question number 4. Fish help each other by staying in a group. Support this statement with evidence from the text. So they want you to support the idea that fish help each other by staying in a group. So how do fish help each other by staying in a group? So let's go through the story here and see if we can figure out where it talks about fish in a group. How come some of the penguins stay together? Do they talk? Penguins. Okay, so it's fish. Why are all those little fish swimming together? Asked a boy in Erica's class. Some fish swim in a group for protection, said Mrs. Lane. If you don't know what the word protection means, you could click on it and you could see the definition for it. What kind of protection, Erica asked. Well, since they are small, if they were on their own, bigger fish could eat them. But when they all swim together, they look like a bigger fish. So the question says, fish help each other by staying in a group. How does staying in a group help the fish? What did we just read? So staying in a group helps. I'm just going to leave a blank here. Helps fish. Helps. So it helps do what? It helps protect the fish, right? So staying in the big group helps protect the fish from being eaten. Protect the fish from being eaten. Awesome. Okay. If you want to pause the video and type that out now, go for it. If not, we will continue listening. All right, so now these next 3 questions are the ones where we really want to focus on. These are your comparing and contrasting. And when it says to compare something, I'm going to cough. Hold on a second. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying before I was going to cough, but this is what we really want to focus on. Compare, that's what I was saying. So when you're comparing something, you're looking at what's the same. When you're contrasting something, you're looking at what's different. So number 5 says, compare a pack of wolves with a school of fish. So think about, what did you learn about a pack of wolves and what did you learn about a school of fish? Support your answer with information from both texts. So it wants to know, how are a pack of wolves, it wants to know, how are a pack of wolves and a school of fish the same? So why do they travel in a group? Do they have similar functions? I know we talked about protection. Is that something with the wolves? Go back in the area in each story and look at where they talk about the fish living in schools and the wolves living in packs. Why do they do that? What's the same? So how you could start this question, so it says compare a pack of wolves, support your answer. So it could say, a pack of wolves and a school of fish are the same because ... This is where you'd fill in the rest of it. So this first one is just a help. Hint. And then the next one's your sentence starter. A pack of wolves and a school of fish are the same because... So look in there and see, how are they the same? I would start by looking to see if wolves travel in groups for protection, because that's what we've already talked about with the fish. Again, if you want to pause the video and work on that question right now, go for it. If you just want to listen, just listen. All right, number 6. Contrast a pack of wolves with a school of fish. Support your answer with information from the text. So for number 6, it wants you to look at what's different. So hint, it wants to know how a pack of wolves and a school of fish are different. Okay? So what do they do that's different? How do they function differently? Does a pack of wolves do something that the school of fish can't? So you're going to say a pack of wolves and a school of fish are different because, so how are they different? What do they do that's different from each other? Go back into the story to find your answer. Pause the video if you want to do that right now, or just keep listening. All right, number 7, the last one. The fish Erica sees in a school trip to the aquarium help each other by staying in a group. Do wolves also help each other by staying in a group? Use information from Atka and the Wolves of South Salem to support your answer. So now it wants to know, do wolves help each other by staying in a group? And it wants to know how or why not. So if you're going to say no, that they don't help, then you need to give me some evidence on how that, on what you read in the story that tells you that. If you want to say yes, wolves also help each other by staying in a group, I need evidence from the story. How do they help each other? So you're either going to say wolves do not help each other by staying in a group, because, or you're going to say wolves do help each other by staying in a group, because. Tell me how. Explain your thinking. Include your evidence from the story, not from your brain. And what I mean from your brain is, obviously you might still have it in your head from when you read it, but not just making it up, not just what you think, what the story actually says. All right, so like I said, you can use my sentence starters here. Just make sure that you are actually filling in the rest of the answer. A lot of times kids just copy this whole thing and put it in there. That's not what I want. You shouldn't be putting the hints in there. You just should be putting the sentence starters in there if you're using mine. So use both stories, answer the questions, take your time. There should be no one-word answers on here. The closest thing to a one-word answer you might get is number 1. But really, we want to start working on writing them in sentences, because that's what they're going to expect in 4th grade. They're going to expect that your answers are written in sentences. All right. I think that's it. Reach out with any questions. Don't forget to push submit when you're done. Please.